Hello and welcome to my channel, Boo Snakes and More. For more videos like this, also watch my other house channel, anything snakes and stuff. My youngest son's channel, Henny's Toys and Games, or my oldest son's channel, Little Chris 10. Today we're going to be talking about a spring snowstorm in Illinois. So please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Now let's dive in. It's been a roller coaster of temperatures in northern Illinois over the past week, as it feels like we've gotten a taste of spring and then right back into winter, with temps dropping below freezing. Spring less than a week away, but more snow in the forecast. Spring begins on March 20th, and we're all ready to have consistently warmer temperatures in the Rockford region. Still, the current extended forecast from the Weather Channel shows high temps only hitting the lower 40s and lows near 20 beginning on St. Patrick's Day, this Sunday, 3/17. Some weather models showing multiple snowstorms. While the potential for some snow is still about a week away for northern Illinois, some current forecasts seem to be generating different information. Direct Weather recently updated its forecast, and in a YouTube video posted more details about the weather models showing multiple upcoming snowstorms. Why this potential snow is still over a week away, according to the Direct Weather modelers, the Weather Channel's extended forecast for the Rockford area is showing a chance of snow 24 hours after spring officially begins. The current forecast shows around a 20% chance of snow beginning Thursday night, March 21st, when the low is expected to drop down to the lower 30s. On Friday, March 22nd, there's a 30% chance of morning snow showers with a high eventually hitting the upper 40s. Second chances of snow near the end of March. If the latest Weather Channel forecast holds for northern Illinois, there's a 20% chance of snow on Thursday, March 21st. Saturday, March 23rd, there's a 20% chance of snow in the evening and a little better chance of flurries early on Sunday, 3/23.
The 998 millibar low pressure center between Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas here. This is really aiding a lot of this activity to the northwest of that low, but also we're probably going to see some thunderstorms begin to fire up on that southern and eastern corridor of this storm. Not too much, but we can see underneath we do have some isolated and scattered thunderstorm activity here for Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, southern Missouri, and into Louisiana. We actually have a lot of heavier precipitation along that kind of warm front boundary and around that low, and this is likely to be heavier showers, possibly thunderstorms, but it's usually this kind of southern quadrant that we're watching for that type of activity. Let's take this towards Thursday afternoon, and we really do begin to see some thunderstorms firing up by this point. We have a 1,005 millibar low pressure center now. Cold front underneath, and along that cold front, we can see a lot of thunderstorm activity. Out ahead of it, we have a lot of humid and warm air rising, and this is bringing some Gulf thunderstorms onshore to Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and likely the Florida Panhandle as well. Also, it's very easy to distinguish that there's a warm front out to the east here, and this is aiding in a lot of this rainfall here that is coming in the form of likely heavier showers, like I mentioned. Let's take this towards Friday, and we see that this low is outpacing the frontal boundaries a lot. We see it over the northeast. We have a dragging, kind of weaker frontal boundary here to the south, likely some thunderstorm activity along that. Also, some snowfall still ongoing for the Four Corner states. Very, very interesting. By the time we're reaching Saturday afternoon on the 16th, we still see a lot of this thunderstorm activity across the deeper south central and the deeper southeastern states, as we have a cold air mass on the way coming in the form of an Arctic blast, really working its way into the eastern and central states through the north. By Sunday, what we see is this pinches a lot of this activity together. We have a lot of warm and humid air pushing from the south here, a lot of colder air pushing from the north here, and in between these areas, we see a lot of thunderstorm and shower activity developing. Pretty common stuff here. By the time we reach Monday on the 18th, we see a very drastic ridge and trough pattern across the United States where we have this positive PNA really strengthening and developing there out west, and then colder air plummeting into the eastern states here. Definitely a very interesting pattern. Also snow showers around for the mid-Atlantic, the Ohio Valley and Great Lakes, and then the Northeast there as well on Monday. By Tuesday, we do have a low near the eastern end of this trough. It just so happens to be well offshore, though. If we were to see this near the coast, it would be game on for a potential snowstorm in this area. But at this point, we have that kind of disconnect. By Wednesday afternoon on the 20th, we finally see warm air spreading back in for the eastern states, but we do expect potentially more cold air on the way after this. As we can see, by the time we're reaching Thursday into Wednesday, or better yet, Thursday into Friday, that's going to be the 21st into the 22nd. We have a strong 993 up here for the Great Lakes. Snowfall on the northern and western ends of things. But I think the true big story here is this cold front, warm front dynamic here. I expect another severe weather event here across the deeper south and maybe even for portions of the plains and the Midwest. Kind of this whole corridor here, especially along this cold front, is going to be an area to watch. But not only that, we have this rising moisture through the deeper south. So really, any of these areas could experience some severe weather. It's going to be interesting as we get closer to watch how this kind of unfolds. But definitely expect this swinging cold front to eventually reach the coast. And what that's going to mean is this Arctic air mass right here is going to spread eastward and all the way down into the eastern states. Now, we would be taking a look at the GFS here. Here we go. It was loading for some reason. And we're going to watch this all kind of unfold, especially after that 240-hour mark. This is right around when the European model had that cold front. We don't see it here on the GFS model by Friday the 22nd. However, we do have a coastal system working its way up the southeast, another system through the plains. So definitely some activity is out there. Very interesting. We see this kind of continued stormy pattern extending through into Monday the 25th as we still have a lot of activity here in the southeast. Keep in mind, severe weather and thunderstorms will be possible with any of this. But then we get interesting. We get this kind of snowfall event for the northeast around the 26th, and then another kind of southern slider or nor'easter type system swinging underneath, bringing some mid-Atlantic and southeast snowfall. Definitely take that one with a grain of salt, as that seems pretty far-fetched. But a possibility, nevertheless. I mean, if models are showing it and we do have the cold air there, it's certainly possible and not unheard of. Here in southeast Virginia, we've had snowfall even in April, so definitely late March isn't out of the realms of possibility, but definitely something that we don't expect. We treat it as a possibility. Let's take a look at the total precipitation, and the Northwest is kind of quieting down. We actually have kind of a downtrend in the precipitation here. I would say near normal amounts there. The four corner states are seeing a little bit more here, and then especially across the deeper south here, we expect a lot. But in general, kind of east of the Mississippi River, I guess that's a little bit more there, something like that, I guess, or actually kind of tracks through these states. I don't know why I'm obsessing with this so much. Here we go. Mississippi River, right? East of there, I mean, with the exception of Virginia and North Carolina there, we are seeing near normal to above normal amounts. And then even for this deeper south area, as I mentioned, certainly above average for those areas. Total snowfall on the European model, a little bit quieter here in the east than we've seen in previous model runs, but certainly not for the upper Midwest and better yet, the Rockies backward towards the west, even the Sierra Nevada and the Cascades there, we're seeing plenty of mountainous snowfall. But look at the GFS model. We see the same amounts here, maybe even more for the Rockies and upper Midwest, a ton right here in the upper Midwest. But we even see some snowfall across the eastern states, so definitely a lot more here than we see on the European model. But a lot of this happens after hours 240, because let's look at hours 240. and compare them, and we're seeing a very similar outlook here, maybe even less on the GFS model. It's just after that 10-day mark at hours 240, where the European does not extend beyond this, where we see a lot of this snowfall really get added into the equation. Now, the temperature pattern, we're going to see kind of an up and down one. Warmer for the next few days. Cold air finally arriving after the weekend. Here's Sunday the 17th, and then by Monday on the 18th, look at that. Frigid air as an Arctic blast moves into the east. And look at all the warmth out west as well. That's kind of evident of our positive PNA that we have going on out here, which is helping a lot of this cold air to spread into the eastern United States. We see that we get a warm up in between, but again, another brutal cool down on the way here on this European model at the end here, where this is going to even move into the eastern states, where we have warmer air for next weekend. It's going to be basically coming to an end in the form of a cold front is the current expectation. Anyway, guys, that's it for this video. Be sure to subscribe as we do upload every single day.